Hi students, welcome back. This is part 3 video of Plus 2 Computer Application Chapter 3. Before getting into the video, please do subscribe. So let's see the previous topics. We have discussed about database models, that is hierarchical database model, network model, relational model and object-oriented database model. And now we are going to discuss about RDBMS, and it is based on relational model. And the topic is RDBMS jargons. What is RDBMS? RDBMS is Relational Database Management System. It is based on relational data model. See, we used to create tables, and all the tables will be organized in relational model. That is, every single table will have a relationship with another table. That is what relational model. Let's see how the table is created. Now look at the table. We do have columns and we do have rows. Every single column is termed as attributes. Okay. Every single row is termed as tuple and the entire table is termed as relation. So this is all about the table. Table is defined as the collection of rows and columns. It is a very simple definition. Now let's see what is database. Database is collection of tables, related tables. Now look at this model. We do have three tables. First table we do have three columns, that is student ID, name and age. Second table again we do have three columns. It is subject ID, name and teacher. Now look at the third table. Third table is related to first two tables. Let's see how. In third table, the first column is actually copied from first table, that is student ID. Both are same. And second column of this third table is copied from second table, that is subject ID. They are same. Now read the first row, that is first tuple of third table. That is student ID is 1, subject ID is 1 and mark is 92. Now if you want to know who is ID 1 and which subject is marked as ID 1, you have to read table 1 and table 2 to get the details. This is how it is related. Now let's see who is ID 1. ID 1 is Muller, age is 17 and subject 1 is C++ and it is handled by Mr. Kannan. The mark secured by Muller is 92. In which subject? In C++. This is how we get the information from this relational model. So we are going to learn about this relational model, that is RDBMS. Now let's see what is RDBMS jargons. So in this RDBMS jargons, the first topic is database. So there are so many popular databases. For example, MariaDB, MySQL, MongoDB, Oracle, SQL Server, and there are so many database softwares. So all these databases are well organized collection of data. So it is in a format of table. So look at this picture. One single database can hold many tables, multiple tables. All these tables will have related data. So let's see what are the features of RDBMS. High performance. That is the first feature, which means it can work faster. And the second one is high availability. You can easily download from internet and it is of free of cost. Robust transaction and support. See, transaction means you can enter a data, you can update the data or you can delete the data. All these actions are called as transaction. That is strong enough. It can be strong. That is called as robust and it supports that feature. At the same time, it is less cost. If you need to purchase, it is less cost and ease of management. It is very simple to manage the data because all the tables are related, so it will be very easy to manage. So in this RDBMS jargons, the next topic is table. So I hope you all know what is table, you know to draw the table. So in this database, we can create a table and we can store all the data. So this table is actually the collection of data organized in the terms of rows and columns. You can see so many rows and columns in a single table. Now let's see what is column. So every single table is divided into smaller parts and that smaller part is termed as column. Now look at this column salary. Under this column you have only numbers, that is the amount they earn. So that is what given. Look at the column age. There we do have again only numbers. Age we term as numbers. And look at the column name. We do have alphabets. So every column will have data type. So if you are specifying the data type as number, you are supposed to enter only number. So all the vertical lines is called as columns and the next one is row. So this is developed by the horizontal lines and one single row will indicate one individual's data. So here we say every row we say it as record or we say it as tuple. See, look at the data. ID 1, name is Alex, age is 26 and salary is 22,000. This is one person's detail. So always one row is equal to one record or the other name is tuple. Now next topic is types of keys in RDBMS. So keys, how will you identify a person uniquely? That is what the meaning of key, which means column. How many columns are needed to identify one individual's record perfectly? So we do have so many types of keys. One is primary key, foreign key, super key and composite key. So let's start with the primary key. Now look at the table. We do have admission number, name and age. So in this entire table, admission number, this column is unique column. Why? Because the data present in that column is not repeated. 301, 302, 303, 304 and so on. It goes according to the number of rows. But the name column and age column is not like that. Two or more students can have same name. So we repeat the data again and again. Thus likewise age column also almost all the students will have same age. So the data is not unique there. But admission number is not like that. For one individual only one number is given, that is not repeated for any other student. So in the entire table there are many columns participated, but we select one column, that is one key, to perform identification task. That is uniquely you have to identify one person. For that one column will be selected and that column is termed as primary key. So in a table you can create number of columns, but one column we have to set it as primary key just to avoid duplicate records. Now let's move on to the next key, that is foreign key. Here we have two tables, they are related. The first table is having 4 columns: roll number, admission number, name and age. In this table, roll number column is a unique column, so you can set it as a primary key. So keeping this primary key as the reference, you can create another table. So look at the second table, roll number and marks. So here in this table, roll number is acting as the foreign key. So foreign key is a copy of primary key that has been exported from one relation to another. Relation means table. From one table we copy the primary key and we set it as foreign key for another table. Now let's move on to the next topic, that is candidate key. So here in this table we do have 4 columns: roll number, admission number, name and age. So by saying name and age, can you identify a person uniquely? No, it is not possible because we have two persons with the same name and age. So there is a confusion whom we are searching for. So how you can identify? You can either select roll number or admission number, because roll number and admission number, they are unique data. According to this example, you need at least three attributes, three columns to identify a person uniquely. Those three attributes, that is columns, are called as candidate key. So candidate key is nothing but the minimum number of attributes, number of columns, which can uniquely identify a tuple. Tuple means row, is known as candidate key. So according to this table, admission number, name, age, these three columns are set as candidate key. And the next one is super key. Super key means in a given table, almost all the columns, all the attributes are called as super key. So if you are going to mention the roll number, admission number, name and age, all this data if you give and if you search for a person, you will get the person uniquely. So all the participating columns or participating attributes are called as super key. And the next one is composite key. Composite key means in a table you may have more than one or two unique columns, unique attributes. Look at the example. We do have roll number, admission number. Both the columns, both the attributes are unique data. So in a table, if you have two or more attributes, that is unique attribute, then that two columns, that two attributes are said to be composite key. You can mention roll number as primary key, or you can mention admission number as primary key. When you have two or more primary keys in a table, then they are called as composite key. It is also known as compound key. So these are the types of keys under RDBMS. So let's quickly see what are the topics we have discussed today. Relational database management system and its introduction. And the next one is RDBMS jargons. Under this we have discussed about database, table, column, row, and types of keys, that is primary key, foreign key, super key, and also we have discussed about candidate key and composite key. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Kindly read the text.